Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for tuning in for today's Q&A videos. I call them Monday Q&As because they come out every single Monday, every week. I never miss them. What I'm doing is I'm answering people's questions from the last Q&A Monday, last Monday. And what you can do is if you have any questions yourself today, go down to the comment section down below. Ask me any question you want. I'll answer them next Monday. That's it. That's how it works. I want to welcome new subscribers, welcome everyone to the channel, and it just got 30,000 subscribers, so thank you everybody. I couldn't have done this channel couldn't be successful without each and every one of you. I thank you so much for all of your support, all of your activities, and everything that you guys have done for this channel to help this channel grow. Besides just subscribing, I get people that recommend things and interact all the time, and it's just been a wonderful experience. So thank you, all of you. I'm really, really, really appreciative of your support and helping make this this idea that I had quite a while ago, make it come to fruition. And that's just get as much information as available to people who need it. So as this channel grows, that means the information will reach further and further to people who need it. Thank you so much, everybody. I like to make a recommendation every week. Last week, I told you guys to please offer something yourself, recommend things yourself down in the comment section, and I got tons of great recommendations. Really, if any of you watching today didn't see last week's Q&A, or you didn't know that, or you saw me say that but you didn't go look, go back if you can. Look at last week's. If you guys want tons of different recommendations of what a lot of different people are doing, and what's, these are recommendations that people have found things that have worked for them. So it might work for you. And there are things that you can take, things that you can do, read, all kinds of different recommendations. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. That was awesome. Really, really awesome. Way interactive. So this week I want to recommend something that Joni recommended last week. And Joni has recommended many things. She is great. This time she recommended a book, and I'm not going to go list everything that people recommended last week, but I just wanted to do this, and I haven't read this book, but it just seems great because of the title alone and what Joni wrote about the book afterwards. So the book is called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die by Carol Trueman. And that is just awesome, man. That goes with everything that I say about emotions and how traumatic experiences have emotions, and they're open, and we need to process these to close them, or they stay that way our whole life. So Joni wrote, it provides a comprehensive and enlightening resource for getting in touch with unresolved feelings which can distort happiness, health, and well-being. It's amazing how, and that's so well put, that we can distort our own happiness, health, and well-being by not knowing what our body is doing, our emotions. It's amazing. So I know this has to be a good book without reading it. So thank you, Joni, for recommending that. I suggest you guys check it out. So, and I'll put the link down below in the description box. I always put the links to everything I recommend. So that book there'll be a link to Amazon in the description box down below. Thank you, Joni. So let's get started with the questions. First one's from Steve, and all I ask from all of you guys is please leave your location. That's it. You want to ask a question, just tell me where you're from, somewhere in the world, hemisphere, country, area, region, city, whatever you feel like telling us, just no addresses, please. So Steve asks, how do you approach dating after an abusive relationship? Mine has been over for a while, but I struggle with dating because I always think the person has the same characteristics, even if they don't. Well, how do you know? Maybe they do. See, you can't trust yourself right now, Steve. So, real simple, if we are having problems in relationships, then let's learn as much as we can before we can have another relationship. This isn't something that we just get back on the horse because we fall off. It's okay, get back on there and try again. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Well, sure, yeah. But we don't want to just keep dating and realizing the same problem is coming up, right? Specifically, abuse. If there's been abuse in relationships, there are things we need to learn to make sure it doesn't happen again. Period. There's so much to do. I was just talking about processing emotion. So, Steve, I hope you are learning to process emotion. I hope that you are being more comfortable with your past. I hope you are learning the real truth of what happened in your abusive relationship and why it happened and what's wrong with that person and why you allowed it maybe, or maybe why you put up with it for too long or things like this. We need to learn these things. So how did I approach dating? I realized that I had been in abusive relationships, not just one, abusive relationships. So there's a pattern. And I can only control myself. So what did myself do to get in these abusive relationships? I can't control the other person. The person abused me, it's not my fault. But there's got to be something that I'm doing if I keep dating these people. Because there's people that never do, and then there's people that date all the time. Right? That's something I learned. I saw these patterns. So there is something I can change. There is something I can fix. What is that? And I better do it before I get involved in another relationship. Because I'm going to tell you right now, guys, life's about making mistakes. But I'm not encouraging people to make tons of mistakes, especially the same one. We shouldn't have to make the same mistake over and over again. And some of them can be very, very damaging. If we are coming out of an abusive relationship, what might be the worst thing that we could do is get into another one. Extremely important that we don't. So, I would say abuse in relationships is a problem, a big problem. And it's not just the abuser, it's our problem too. I'm not saying it's your fault that you were abused, it's just your problem. It's in your life, it's your relationships, it's a problem of yours. So we need to fix these problems before we date again. We need to find out why. And we also need to learn what a good relationship consists of. So many people are on dating sites and I ask them, what's a good relationship? I don't know. Or they tell me things that just clearly shows that they don't know. So, and you know, if you're telling me that tons of people have abused you your whole life, but you're not, that it's all their fault, they're just bad people and you've done nothing. And because there's people that have really learned and healed will tell me things that there's things I can look for and I'll see, oh, okay, they have done some work, they are getting it, they are seeing everything. So how do you approach dating after an abusive relationship? Best thing is you don't. Take your time and not date. There's got to be a buffer from an abusive relationship to a healthy one. And it's not a day, it's not a week, I don't think a month. And it's not really about time, but there is a lot of stuff you need to do, so you can't do it in that short amount of time. So many people think healthy relationships is about dating the right person. Well, yes, they need to be healthy, but so do you. You can't get healthy people if you're not. So you become healthy, you date healthy people, yes. But it's not just, I need to meet the right person. That just means eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Right? Could be that person, could be this person, I don't know. Just keep trying my chances till I find the right one. The right one, even that, the right one sounds too idealistic to me. So the one thing you can do to never get in an abusive relationship is never have another relationship. It's not what I recommend. I absolutely recommend having people in your life all the time, soon, and dating soon, sure. But we need to make sure it doesn't happen again. We need to make sure you're never, ever abused again. And how are you going to do that? How are you going to make sure you never are abused again? And you better be able to tell me, because if you can't, you shouldn't be dating it. Okay? Okay? Knowing how or why I was abused, knowing what I did to not change it, not leave, stuff like this. These are important things we need to learn. Okay? And there should be a buffer of time. We need to learn to be independent, not dependent on other people. We need to resolve our past relationship and issues and pain. We need to understand them, okay? So much to learn, so much to learn. So you can't do it right away. You can't just date someone else. Hello, Dave. I'm Sunday from Greece. Hello, Sunday. And it's David. I like to ask how you react when he is coming back to Hoover and is suddenly in front of you. One of the most common questions I'm asked. What happens when my abuser hoovers me? Or what happens when they just show up? Or I'm just so afraid of them showing up. Are they going to show up? Are they going to hoover me? So what I tell people is let's plan for it. So let's just say they are. Most of them do. Okay? Most toxic abusers tend to keep coming back. Even after you tell them never to do it again, or they say, I'm never coming back. They tend to come back again. Just say that they probably will and be prepared for it. So one is, what do you want? And that's always an important question so many people don't have an answer to. In a lot of different situations. People come to me, David, what should I do? What should I do? And I'll say, what do you want? I don't know. Well, how can I tell you what to do if you don't even know what you want? So, Sunday, what do you want if or when he comes back? And all of a sudden it shows up in your face, bam, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want from this person? What do you want if you ever run into him again? If you could, nothing. Because the work you do is on your own with someone else now, not with him. We don't care. We don't need apologies from this person anymore because that's how you'll get manipulated back in. And he just wants something. So be prepared. What do you want? Nothing. What should you do? Well, you can start with nothing. You don't have to do anything. Someone shows up in your face, turn around, walk away. They show up at your door, don't answer it. You accidentally answer it, shut it. You get what I'm saying? They call you, don't answer it. You accidentally answer it, and they say hi, just hang up. You don't have to do anything. You don't owe anybody anything but yourself. So you owe it to yourself to take care of yourself so that you feel okay. So if this person makes you feel bad, get rid of it. You don't owe them an explanation or an apology. Get rid of it. They can take care of this on their own. We don't owe people these things. We owe ourselves things, okay? So you don't have to do anything, and you don't want anything. That's a good start, okay? So if we stay directed and focused on our goal, we don't want anything. We just want him away. They're away. We just walk away. We just shut the door. We hang up the phone. Stop caring about what they think about you, about what it looks, that you look weak, or that you're being rude or you hurt their feelings. This is somebody who has abused you, so it's okay. If you told them to leave you alone and they come back in your life and you ignore them and it hurts their feelings, they need to learn to stop doing that. Maybe they'll stop doing it. Maybe they won't do it again. Oh, that makes sense. Always find out what you want, guys. Okay? Be prepared and you don't have to do anything. It's a good start. Good place to start. Heather from Ontario, Canada. Hello, Heather. He has some of my belongings that are very special to me. I would think that a gentleman would quietly drop them off. But he says that I have to come and get them. What should I do? Well, first off, date a gentleman, right? You didn't date a gentleman, so why would he act like a gentleman? Maybe you think that most men or all men are gentlemen, or should be, huh? But a lot of men are not, sadly to say. So he says that you have to come get them. What should you do? Really evaluate, Heather, if you need these things back. Really tell yourself, are you going to get them back? If you show up and do what he says, will you get them back? And if you do what he says, how's that going to affect you? What's that going to do to you? Be responsible, Heather. Okay? You want a suggestion? Say, sure, I'll show up. And go show up with someone else. Bring someone else with you. Okay? Someone that you feel has your back and you can rely on in his strength. You know, like your father. Someone important. Just a suggestion. If you need this stuff back, my advice, Heather, cross it off and say goodbye to it with him. All of it gone. Belongings can be replaced unless it's, photos, memories, but memories stay here and here. Right? We don't need this. I don't need this to remember things. That's something that most of you need to realize that are sentimental and stuff. We don't need these things to remember, right? Memories are in here, inside of us, right? We keep people alive that we've lost by memories, not by belongings, right? We're worried about someone, that we lose, and we're worried about, we'll forget about them. No, you won't. You're not going to forget about them, and you shouldn't need little trinkets to remind you, okay? We keep their spirit alive by remembering them, by talking about them. I hope that makes sense. Heather from Ontario. Oh, already read that. And Lisa from the United Kingdom. I love your channel. Thank you. Is the exhausting aging pity party and guilt inducement and continuously referring to their will and who they are leaving their money to classified as abuse? Well, we need to know what abuse is, right, Lisa? So first of all, let me just tell you this, Lisa, it doesn't matter what it's classified, it doesn't matter what people are doing, it doesn't matter what you do, it matters how you feel. So if it feels bad, get rid of it. That's all that matters. You don't like it, don't do it. You know what I mean? Don't play this game with this person. It sounds like your mother, who has you in her will. This is so common. Gosh, I hear this all the time. She has you in her will, and she talks about it all the time, brings it up. So is this abuse? Well, it gets touchy, doesn't it? I mean, really, the definition of abuse, I would say yes, because it seems like financial exploitation, guilt, shame, holding control over you, things like this. Maybe exploiting vulnerabilities. Oh, if you don't have, maybe she's made you feel like if you don't have this money, your life is done, over. You don't have a chance. You're screwed. You need money, 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 money. What you really need, Lisa, you probably never got from this person, and you never will. Think about that. What you really need, you probably never received from this person, and you never will. You know how you show her or him that you don't care about the money? Stop talking to them, period. Stop talking to them. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your parents. I don't care who it is. Keep your money. Keep your money. It works. I've done it. Trust me. Good luck. Fit Mama Roberta from the Bay Area in California. Hello. How did you gain so much knowledge on abusive relationships? Through your shared knowledge, I was able to cut off all ties to an abusive ex. Well, good. And thank you for giving me some credit for that. But you did that. Good for you. How did I do it? How did I gain so much knowledge on abusive relationships? Not in school. I majored in sociology, minored in psychology, and that's not where I learned any of this stuff. I learned it, and not just from my experiences, not just from being abused. Do I know so much? Experience, right? And what I did with it afterwards. I healed myself, so I went and searched for this knowledge myself. I did. I attended seminars and sat in all kinds of things and listened and watched. I took in information from everywhere, and I was also very selective and careful where I got that information from. I still am. I don't watch other people's videos in this community, by the way. None. I don't watch them. I don't watch other people's opinions on this subject matter. I form my own completely, entirely. And I do that over time. I take my time doing that. And I realize helping people with their own mental health that I better be accurate as possible. And helping people with their problems, similar and not similar problems I've had in my life, helping them has forced me to find answers, search for answers, and also see and learn from other people. So I've been doing this a few years now, and it's helped me quite a bit. Helping other people has helped me get better and better at it. Hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate you, your thoughtfulness and care and being so caring. And I'm glad that you're able to do the same. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And I can tell by your attitude and optimism, you've done a lot more than just cutting off abuse. You're learning about yourself. That's beautiful. I love it. Next question is from Larry in the United Kingdom. Hello. Thank you for all your help. I think my ex is a sociopath. You're welcome. I disregard. Oh, this is Lucy. I read my own writing wrong. I'm sorry. Lucy from the United Kingdom. Thank you for all your help. I think my ex is a sociopath. I discarded him and he moved on from me and our 8-month-old child. He hoovers every 6 months and flying monkeys come out. Why do I still feel pity for him as he's done so many bad things to my family? That's okay. I don't think that's wrong. I used to. I don't think that's wrong, Lucy. I think that's a sign of maturity for one. Okay? It's, you know, to have compassion is pity, but to have compassion for people who have hurt you is mature and wise. You'll learn from this. That's maybe why, because you are learning. Problem is feeling sorry for people has gotten us into a lot of trouble, hasn't it? And you want to know, how can we still feel sorry for someone who's hurt us so much? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Emotional responsibility tends to be one. If we're in abusive relationships, there's a lot of irresponsibility there. And the victims tend to take on too much responsibility for both parties. And that's emotional responsibility for how both parties feel. One person tends to take the responsibility for that. After some time, or after the relationship's over, tend to still do that. I feel sorry for that person. I don't want to leave them. I haven't spoken to them in 6 months and their life has gone down the drain. I feel guilty. You know, stuff like that. So, you know, it's really more awareness, processing more emotions. It's trying to learn more about this person's situation. And if you have pity for this person, the reason I think that's good is it kind of goes in a process where you have compassion for your abuser first, and having that, then it allows you to have compassion for yourself and what you've been through. So here I have a person that is so disordered, so damaged, so abused, so doesn't understand things at all, and it affects everybody in their life so much, right? And it hurts people around them that care for them so much. See? Do you see that, what I'm saying? You have somebody that's so damaged, now you start seeing that, and then you start seeing their childhood and how they were raised. I do this with my clients. I show them, I say, what do you know about their family and how they were raised? Oh, it was awful, it was abusive and neglectful. Can you see why they're behaving the way they are? Yeah. Oh, I get it. And then they start having a little compassion for them, and it feels better. And then now can you imagine living with someone like that? Yeah, you did. That all the damage it caused you. Pretty sad, huh? And I mean, the whole situation is sad, Lucy, isn't it? It's just sad. You know, it's sad what happened to narcissists. It's sad. It's sad that they were neglected or abused or both. It's sad to that point. It's sad that they've started families, relationships, and so many people have been hurt. So many people. It's sad. So we feel sad afterward. The whole thing is sad. You have pity for somebody that deserves pity. Their life is unmanageable, uncontrollable. Thank you, Lucy. Let's go. One more question in part 1. And I tried to say your name last time, and you didn't tell me I got it wrong, so maybe I got it right. Sieta from New York. Thank you for answering my question, Dave. You are welcome. David. Does kids of narcissists become narcissists? Some do, some don't. Real simple. I don't want to black and white think. Absolutely, some don't. Some of the most beautiful people have narcissistic parents. Some of the most awful people have narcissistic parents. Okay? And the beautiful people that come from narcissistic parents, I'm not giving their parents the credit. These beautiful people that have come from narcissistic parents, I give them the credit for making good decisions even when they feel bad. Even without any support and encouragement from their parents. Still made good decisions, still became good, great, beautiful people. Okay? So that should show you there's a lot of control we have in the decisions and the choices that we make and why people become who they are in their adulthood. So I'm going to end first part 1 here and start part 2 in a few minutes. Thanks, guys. If you can, please support me, this channel, my work, and the information that I'm giving. If you think it's beneficial, please support it. You can vote, thumbs up or down, comment. You can share it, subscribe to the channel, give it to someone who needs it, post it on forums and groups and stuff like this, okay? You can save someone's life. Maybe someone won't commit suicide that finds some of this stuff, okay? Thank you, guys. See you in part 2. Love yourself first. Bye.